I think that that's your fault, because you'd have me enter the address into the navigator when we're not in the car. You don't get a signal in the house. Who enters the address on the navigator in the house? I mean, that's...
Who gets ready and doesn't set the address in the navigator and
Right,
then
I
sits
did the
down and
dishes.
watches TV?
No, I was
Okay,
playing my
okay,
game.
okay. Scene, it's a wrap over there. You two
Scene.
aren't even married yet. No, that just gives you guys, you're great. You have a lot of energy, a lot of, magnetism and sparks. I can see that.
Thank you.
So welcome to On the Set. We have an actress, a writer, a film producer, that wants to share all of their marvelous, movies and your new things coming out, new projects. And so David Garfield, David J. Garfield.
That's right.
It's kind of like
there's 7 other David Garfield, so I am the David J. Garfield, kind of like Michael J. Fox. So
yeah. So will the real David Garfield please
that'd be
stand
me.
up?
Oh, yeah. Stand up.
And Susan Garibotto. I said it right, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, good.
That's
I just always like to make sure. And you've been an actress in a lot of movies.
That's right.
But what inspired you?
Oh, well, I've always wanted to act. I've always, as a child, I'd watch the stars on the big screen and I'd be like, oh, I want to do that. I want to be on this big screen, I want to be in movies. And I finally got into it kind of at a later time, but I was looking on the internet for acting jobs, and I came across Boston Casting was looking for background actors, and I got into the movie Moonlight Mile with Dustin Hoffman, and I was in awe, really. Especially, I can remember this one scene that Dustin Hoffman did. It was so dramatic. I mean, we were in this cafe, and he was across the street. He had to run over towards the cafe, and the scene was that his daughter had been shot a few days prior, and the window was broken, and he comes storming over. Why haven't they fixed that window? I mean, it was just like, wow, that was Dustin Hoffman. That was so good. That was so dramatic, And I was just,
and you caught the
so
bug.
Thrilled. Yeah,
you caught
like,
the bug at that point. Like,
yeah, I'm so excited. I'm here.
Yeah.
Here's a big star, and I'm here, and I get to see this. I get
Not
to
to
do
name
this.
drop, but Justin Hoffman is a friend of my father's, and they took class together in New York. Sorry. I didn't
and your father
jump
was
in there, but
John Garfield.
that was my father. My father was Kurt Garfield.
Kurt
I'm a
Garfield.
third generation now. So
Okay.
3 generations. Actually, John Garfield was the one who died young in the 1940s, Body and Soul, Post-War Awards twice, Academy Award winner. And Marlon Brando, James Dean, Laurence Olivier all followed he invented the method for screen. So those are kind of big footsteps to fill when it comes to acting. So I realized that I will never be that great of an actor. Well, maybe I will. I'm getting older, so writing, producing, and directing is getting to do the whole thing. I realized as a kid, I wanted to do that.
And so you come from L.A. You come from the West
Yeah.
Coast, moved to the East
Well,
Coast.
we're all from the East Coast. We're all from the wrong side of the tracks in Brooklyn. The whole family,
Oh, okay.
including John. I mean, all the way
Okay.
from back then. So, and all kind of scrapped our way up into the business.
So is your career moving in the direction that you're happy about, that you
Absolutely.
thought that it would
Sure.
be at this point?
Yeah,
Oh,
because
good.
I quit. I quit for 10 years. My father quit when he was in his 60s, but I quit for 10 years when into software programming and stuff like that. And then there's a lot of tie-ins when it comes to video games and stuff now, where there's voice acting and portrayal in animation, and I love animation. So, I mean, that's what kind of brought me back in, and the next thing I know, I'm on a Pink Panther set, and wanted to meet Steve Martin, which actually was a little starstruck about that. He's an idol in my life. Peter Sellers was my original idol. He died, so I replaced him with Steve Martin, and here he was playing the same character that Peter Sellers had played. And instead of meeting him, I got to meet Susan. And
So how did you two meet? Now you're engaged.
yes,
Right?
Yes.
But
right,
how did you
perpetually engaged. I'm going to make a show called Practically Married. I think we're happy where things are. And we're very happy with that, right?
Yeah.
I
What's that
I
saying?
think-
If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Right. Well, they made
well-
in the Pink Panther. They made downtown Boston look like Paris, and so she was at a table in a cafe, and I was a waiter, and I was
Wait,
like,
is this real? Is this how you
this is
met?
how we really met.
Okay. I didn't know if this was a movie.
This is actually really what happened.
And he
So-
stole flowers.
Yeah, then we made it like Paris, so I stole
Okay.
flowers off. I got to talking to her. She said she worked for the IRS, and I told her I was self-employed and goodbye. And everybody laughed at that. It was like, okay, well, see you later. But then we got to talking, and she also did real estate. So I sat down next to her, and with a table full of witnesses, I said, so you want to get married, buy a house, and have kids? And I usually don't use pickup lines, but it just rattled off really easily, and she just heard the house part. She's like, yes, so.
You know, being a realtor at the time.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
I
yes,
was like,
I'll
good, I
help
got
you.
witnesses. So I stole flowers after we had lunch together. I stole flowers, and I took her out to dinner that night.
So
And,
romantic.
we've been inseparable ever since. So.
And the romance is
It
still.
was quite
yeah.
a long day, too, I'll have to tell you. That it was, when we work a 12-hour day,
Yeah,
and then we went out to dinner after.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the wine
Wow.
worked.
Yeah.
So it was meant to be. Sounds like.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've heard that, you know, from you directly sitting here before our show, that you have a lot of quirky little things. You like to be funny.
Oh yeah.
And, you know,
Yeah.
and keep us entertained. That's
That's-
what we were doing.
Right.
So he must be keeping you entertained.
Oh, yeah.
Quite a bit.
All right, and the
You're in the
kids.
business, the entertainment world, and
Yeah.
creative.
Well, she has two daughters. My stepdaughters are
Okay.
18 and 20, and they keep us on our toes too. And I've put them into the movies that we've made as well.
Nice.
And actually, Jackie was in the Suitcase, which I guess we're going to get to
Oh,
that.
why don't we get to that right now then?
Would you want to?
Yes, I'd like to.
All right.
yeah.
Well,
So set up the Suitcase. You wrote it?
I wrote, produced, and directed a short film about a suitcase that was cursed, and it was screened at Psycho Movie Night in Newport, Rhode Island. And after the screening of it, they played Psycho right after it too, which was cool. Everybody came up to me like, "Why is it cursed? And what's going to happen?" And we want to know more. And I was like, I had other ideas, and it could be a series, but I had 4 other ideas. So I went ahead and wrote the other ones, and but I didn't know why it was going to be. It's like a cursed suitcase hand through owner to owner, the different owners of a thing. I didn't know why it was cursed though. I didn't
And
care.
we talked about it
Is-
for a
is
while.
it-
Right, and
too.
she says to me one
He had
day,
started the movie,
and this is
I-
where
we
her
great
real
ideas.
talent
Did you get the
chimed in.
idea from something else of like
No.
the
I just wanted
nothing
to make a movie.
past?
You could make a movie, 4 different segments of a movie. I got that idea from, there was a movie about a car with 4 different families owning a car. So I knew it was easier for an independent filmmaker to make 4 shorts, and especially if you could tie them together to make a feature. So that was my original goal. But she said, make it like Death of a Salesman. And then I just went, bing, all right, we're going to shoot this in
Oh, so
black
then
and
that
white.
might be where you
He's
got
gone
it
a
from little
lot.
bit.
He's
Yeah.
got this old,
Well, that was her idea, though.
you know,
That's a
he
good
sells
idea.
So she
Sells
became
things
the
in
wife.
this
We're all no names. All the
case.
stars in the movie don't have an actual character name. I'm the salesman, the wife. Lori Vizzella is the mistress. There was the customer, which was Rosemary Mahoney. There was others like that, but
You know what? Let's show a clip.
the runaway was her daughter. Yeah,
Let's show a
we
clip,
have a
and so
clip with
that-
her acting in it.
Yeah, and that
I'm
way we
actually,
can
I'm
talk
a
about that.
salesman.
and
like I
not a
said.
good not a
I'm a horrible
nice
person.
guy.
Right.
No, he's not a nice guy
Yeah.
in this.
Well, you are here.
Yes.
But
Well,
not-
thank you.
not-
Not in
That
the
stands to
movie.
reason. No, I actually am. I usually get these weird psycho roles anyway, and I don't know why I chose that for myself in this one. It was fun to play, but yeah, the clip setup is that I'm leaving on a trip, I guess, supposedly, but you'll have to decide for yourself if you know.
Okay. All right. Let's
So-
roll it.
How come you always have to go on these business trips?
Darling, you know I gotta go.
What more can they teach you? I mean, maybe you could just miss this one.
Yeah, miss it and not have any inventory and nothing new to sell. That'd be great.
Huh. What's this?
That's just a prank from the guys at the office, you know, always trying to get me in trouble.
I don't know if I can believe you anymore.
Look, you know I have to go. I'm a salesman, it's what I do. Besides, I have a whole different plan in my mind. This time will take 2 weeks.
2 weeks? You've never been gone that long.
That's how long it's gonna take. Maybe longer. Goodbye.
You're leaving me.
How much for this? That's $5, son.
It doesn't belong to anyone. it has an agenda of its own.
Call me back. I'm kind of creeped out with this place all by myself.
It carries a story you cannot unpack. And whoever uses it will slip into its nightmare.
Hello?
The suitcase, what's inside, is just for you.
Well, I'm not going traveling anytime soon. Oh my gosh. It reminds me, I mean, all that smoke and
right.
everything, and you're not nice.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a nice guy.
No.
No, definitely not. I mean, geez.
The girls really liked her frail. She's a very strong person in real life, and for her to play the character as such a wafy, like
I know.
So that's
Don't
challenging.
loosey-goosey person that does like Clueless mostly.
Right.
This is all going on under her nose, and we actually wrote all the scenes that we played together in the scene when in the movie. When we premiered it, those scenes were the favorite scenes. We also worked the hardest on those scenes.
Well, there was another scene also that
Right,
we
the
didn't
bedroom
see.
scene.
The bedroom scene.
Right.
It was we
breathing.
made it more comical.
It was a very
like,
Ricky Lucy thing.
Yeah, more.
So when you're,
Just the
you know,
other side of the
you're a couple
couple.
and you're working together, and do you seem to agree a lot on the same ideas? And is it awkward acting when it
tough.
comes time?
When it comes to
everything's
writing, she's genius when it comes to writing as well. So it's super easy to like get inspired off this, and I'm like going to add that, and you know I added things about the character because of one thing she said or another. But directing is super hard. You can't direct yourself.
Yeah,
You know,
he was
it's very
both
hard. We actually shot the bedroom scene. We did
directing and
twice, 2
acting
days.
and
We did a whole day, one day. It's only a 4 or 5 minute scene, but we did a whole day, one day,
Right.
and then we looked at that, and we went back and did it again, a whole nother day, and we're a lot happier with what we got from the second day.
What's
So-
the requirement of a short film? Is there a limit? 20 minutes?
A short
A
film
short-
is
It
can be.
short
It
as
can go
anything
all
under
the
an
way
hour.
up to an
Oh, okay.
hour.
Right.
And
And to
even
make it a
though-
feature, it had to be an hour.
It has to be.
So ours
Oh,
is
I
actually,
think it's a
I
little
think,
over an hour, isn't it?
Yeah, ours
like
was
an hour
hour
and
and 10
15.
minutes.
It has to be hour 15 or something.
it had to be over an hour.
Over an hour.
So we added a lot of. That's why we added the bedroom scene, and we had Jackie, her daughter was the runaway. In the second segment, the girl buys the suitcase at a yard sale and runs away with it, and
And there's a
in a
mistress
motel room.
involved, and your
Yeah.
character has a mistress.
Yeah, right. That's kind of like to intro the backstory, and we recur in a Pulp Fiction way. Like the backstory builds as you watch the rest of the movie, rather than making a segment of our own. We thought it'd be interesting to kind of unfold it, so that by the end of the movie, you do know why the suitcase is evil, or you think you know, until you really see the end. It's just so you have enough twists there.
And so it leaves the viewers wanting more.
Right.
That really drives me crazy.
And it's
that's
still campy.
a
It's very
good
campy,
movie.
very Hitchcock,
You could have
very
a second,
hokey
the
movie.
suitcase too, because
Yeah.
that's you know
You could.
the
Well, that'll be the
person
sequel.
that leaves with the suitcase.
I was thinking you could actually make a series out of it.
Continue
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
The guy this week is like Quantum Leap, you know.
Exactly.
Who has the suitcase this week and what happens to him and why?
So now we have to talk about your other movie, the Rude, the Mad, and the Funny.
Sure.
So what inspired you?
Well, I volunteered at the Boston International Film Festival to do interviews for them, and we got to meet quite a few people. And then Susan and I went to one of the benefits, Haiti benefit, and I'd met some people that were screening a trailer for a movie with Lenny Clark and Arthur Wahlberg, and I met Arthur Wahlberg, and he just reminded me my favorite movie all the time is The Good